Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to build CRUD REST API. Project for this video is to create a simple to-do app where we can create, read, update, and delete tasks. This tutorial is beginner-friendly, but even experienced developers might pick up a few tips along the way. Let's get started. Open Visual Studio and create a new project. Choose ASP.NET Core Web API and hit Next. Name this project To-Do API and hit Next. I have selected .NET 8 as the framework and enabled OpenAPI support. I have also chosen to use minimal APIs for this project. Let's clean up some boilerplate code in Program.cs file. Remove them, we won't need them for this project. First, I am going to create entities folder. Then add a new class and named as To-Do-Item. I've marked the class as sealed to prevent it from being inherited, and adding properties such as ID, name, is completed, and last updated on UTC to define its entity. Next, I am adding To-Do endpoints class and map To-Do endpoints extension method to group To-Do endpoints. First, implement the getAllTodos endpoint using minimal API. Here, I create dummy to-do list and return it. Then I am adding endpoints to pipeline in Program.cs and run the application. Then Swagger opened, and we can see To-Do all endpoint. Let's test it. This endpoint returns a dummy to-do item that was created earlier. In this project, I am going to use EF Core and SQLite as database. I install required libraries to the project: Entity Framework Core, Entity Framework Core SQLite, and Entity Framework Core Tools. First step is create DbContext. So first add new folder here, and let's call this as data. We add a new class as ApplicationDbContext. Then we want to inherit from DbContext. Here we can use primary constructor and needs a parameter. This is DbContext options of ApplicationDbContext, and we call this options. Now we have to add a database set, and this database set will result in a table in our database. Now we need to set up database ConnectionString. So for that, in appsettings.json file, we can configure it. Name database as TodoDB. Now we need to register our DbContext. Now we need to migrate. So in Package Manager, type add migration command. This command try to build our application and to create a migration file. Now apply this migration to database by using update database command. Now you can see To-Do DB DbSQLite database file inside data folder. When open the created TodoDB file in SQL Browser, we can see To-Do table is created in the database. Now let's inject ApplicationDbContext to get all endpoint which we created. And modify it, fetching to-do items from the database. Let's run the application. In here, I am going to implement to-do CRUD operations. First, I am going to implement getTodo by ID endpoint. If to-do item is null for given ID, we return not found, and if it is not null, then return to-do item. And name this endpoint as getTodo by ID. Now I am going to implement createTodo endpoint, and for that we use post method. So here I am going to define our DTO for create method and response. Let's run the application. Let's try create to-do endpoint by creating a new to-do item. In here you can see there are several to-do routes. So we can group these routes by using route grouping. Let's implement the update endpoint. For this we can use put method. Let's implement the complete to-do endpoint. Now implement get all completed to-do item. Now implement delete item endpoint. For this we can use delete method. That's it. We've successfully created a CRUD REST API using .NET 8. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching and happy coding.